back to my YouTube channel. I'm Amber Nestor, and today we're going to focus on another vision for the potential of 425 Ashe Cabin Hollow Road in Harriman, Tennessee. That is in Roane County. So first, we're going to cover a few items that are mentioned here in this image, and then we're going to look at some updated images in the MLS that I just changed this morning, talk about some more updated images that are coming soon to that listing with some improvements being done, and also talk about the potential today of this being a multi-generational estate that can start out for a growing family potentially, and then end up with some starter homes for the kids and maybe a home for aging relatives and parents. So I love properties that have this potential. This is something that's becoming more and more in high demand. One of my current buyer clients is looking for something like this right now, but on a larger scale, to meet both some business and personal needs. And for the past several years, as inflation has become more of an issue in the economy, cost of living, cost to run businesses, etc., it becomes more and more important that families work together to make sure they have a place to build starter homes for their children or homes for aging families, so that everybody can be close, so that everybody can help one another, lift each other up in life, so that everybody can save money and reduce expenses. And so this property definitely, based on what zoning has provided, has an incredible potential for that type of use. So you can see over here there's an emphasis that Roane County zoning says for every acre, 2 homes. So this is almost 8 acres. So if you round that off and say, okay, you're gonna, potentially be able to have 14 homes there. Okay. Personally, I wouldn't put 14 homes there, but I would say maybe 4 to 6. I think could be spaced out quite nicely with the way this land lays. That's more what I would try for. And that's really pretty incredible, right? Because the current home that's there, the main level is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with an open kitchen, living room, floor plan in the center, in the heart of the home, with doors that open up onto the front and the back deck. The bedrooms and bathrooms branch off to the left and the right of that heart space in the home. Then the ground level, I keep calling it the ground level. It's underground. It's the big giant walkout basement level. It has potential for replacing that garage door with a huge sliding glass door or huge double glass door mechanism. It's already got 2 beautifully placed windows in the brick on the side, which are very symmetrically placed, very beautifully placed. And then also has a residential style door down there. So some of the images that we're planning on adding and updating in the MLS in the next 2 to 7 days are going to be of the basement after the floor is pressure washed, with all of those windows and doors open and unobstructed, letting all the natural light pour in and turning off any overhead or artificial lighting, so you can really see just how big that space is, exactly how much natural light really does pour in down there, because not all basements have that potential. Not all basements have that. So this is one of the features that was really thoughtfully planned by the original building family that designed the structure and placed the structure on the property. Their vision for their homestead was such a beautiful one. You can see down here this image of the home that I took from my photo gallery and then enhanced it with an idea for some landscaping. So I added in some pink floral and greenery. I added in a crushed white shell path bordered by river rock and filled in with some black style classic mulch. And look how easily and quickly that elevates just the appearance of the property. That's a job you could get done in a day or 2, and just the beauty that it would add, would be so spectacular. So this property, just so much potential here, so much potential. But let's take a closer look at maybe potential ways to place those additional structures and a few other things. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so we are on a different screen here now, and you might hear me shaking something up and my fan getting ready to kick off. It is hot in here. The room that I am in is right by the lake, and in the summertime, July and August, this room heats up in a snap. Oh my goodness, so I am sweating for it today, y'all. Give me 1 second. I made the mistake of not adjusting my thermostat and things the way I should have this morning, and now I'm suffering. All right, so I've got the fans and everything off to make sure that you can hear me great, and let's proceed. So just to recap, if you've not seen these diagrams before, here is the address. Here are some primary diagrams. This property is extra cool because of where it's situated at just a couple minutes north of these branching waterways. Some of the most popular sections of waterway in the eastern half of Tennessee. Beautiful and beloved for many reasons. We can't spend too much time on that today, but if you'd like more information on all that, text me and I will happily send it over to you. So we're going to talk about the multi-generational plan for homes here. Really quickly, we're going to click through the photo gallery, and I'm going to make it larger. We're going to switch screens. Okay, here we go. That's a much better view. Now it's bigger. Now you can see it better. So we're going to click through here. And again, there's 2 HVAC systems over here now. We're just going to click through. I'm going to point out a couple of images that have been updated since the last time I made a video on this property. We're going to be revisiting probably this topographical map. I mean, essentially, really quickly, you've got your private drive, you've got your primary structure here. This kind of looks like it's a structure, but it's not. It's just a little square that's encapsulating that measurement of 1,004 feet. But, you know, if we're going to do a measurement tool probably here in just a minute, but if you put a structure here, and then a structure here, and then a structure here, and then a structure here, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then maybe put another one up here for 6. And you might be able to put another one over here for 7. Those are the placements that I would explore. I mean, think about that. You could have a house for all your kids. You could have a house for your aging parents. Everybody could be right there lifting each other up. That's, of course, if you have a family that gets along, that loves each other. Not all families get along. But if you are blessed in that way, hallelujah and praise God, right? So we're going to get into that. We're going to do some measurements here in a second. Let's keep clicking through this photo gallery here. Starlink has some phenomenal internet speeds as well as T-Mobile out there. The current owner has reported utilizing both of those systems, if I do recall properly. I'm just going to click through these. You can always pause, take a look. If you have questions, let me know. But the idea of these images is to help you see the value of the property at every level, from the level of the property directly and all of its surroundings, as far as the road, the neighborhood, the city, the town, the county, and the section of the state. Someone asked about this dehumidifier and the staining on the floor. This is all being pressure washed. The stairs have also been pressure washed. I have a picture of the stairs now. That's updated. We're going to have updated pictures of this whole basement soon. Today is the 17th of July. This home's only been on the market for a few days, home plus acreage. So this is the updated picture of the stairs, and you can see there they look much cleaner. And the updated images of the basement, we're going to open the garage door. We're going to open the basement residential door. We're going to unobstruct these side windows so we can show you just how beautiful and big it is down there when you let all that natural light pour in. This is that image that I utilized with the landscaping software to show how it would look with the pink and green florals and the crushed shell and river rock border. And just to compare real quick here, let's go back and take a peek at that. Well, we'll add that one back in here in a second. Okay, here it is. You can see it here. Wouldn't that be beautiful to do a landscaping plan like that? I mean, that would just be Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous to do that there. And then follow that theme throughout the property, connecting to the other homes that you may build in the future. Okay, let's pick back up where we left off, clicking through this photo gallery here. All new windows on the main level, surveillance all over the place throughout the property. Even if you think there's not surveillance there, there is. Hot tub left behind by the owners before the current owners. There is the wellhead, and there is its placement in relation to an old swing set post. Pictures of the living room, kitchen, open floor space, new insulation, new sheetrock, new ceiling lights, new HVAC, new ventilation system in the ceiling, abandoning this old floor system. I absolutely love that touch because floor systems, they get in the way, they take up floor space, and stuff gets in them. So you never have to worry about that again with this brand new system. And I tell you what, it feels wonderful in there. I was there the other day. I was standing underneath one of those vents. It felt spectacular. Showing that open kitchen living room space in the heart of the home. And again, the floor plan is such that on that main level, the bedrooms and bathrooms branch off to the left and to the right. The double doors next to the kitchen open out onto the back deck, overlooking the backyard, the beautiful space. And it also connects to the front deck as well. Brand new front door. There's the brand new thermostat, brand new electrical panel, new exterior lighting, gorgeous big backyard. A good percentage of the acreage has been cleared and is mostly flat, very expansive, grassy, beautiful tree line. But again, there's a lot of land there that also could be cleared more and developed. This burn pile is going to be burned up soon. That's from recent bush hogging that was done. This was after the rain. It was a heavy rain. So, and then these curtains have been removed. Some tidying up has happened. So there'll be some more images of this space as well soon. This is a new image that was updated. It shows some cute lighting that's around the back porch with the new back porch lighting lit up as well. And you can just kind of picture sitting back there, looking at all that beauty, enjoying all that privacy, relaxing, listening to the rain on the metal roof. The metal roof on the primary portion of the structure is actually on top of a shingle roof. So I think that's a really cool thing to note there because that's really like an extra layer of insulation happening there. These are a couple of propane tanks that convey with the property. All solid wood doors. They're not hollow. They're solid throughout the main level, updated and installed. This is a three-bay carport with electricity run to it. On the right-hand side of it, there is also an animal shelter. This is a picture from the I think it's 3 mile or more waterfront trail. This is one section of it where a lot of people like to sit to watch the yearly fireworks on July 4th that happen out here in Kingston by Kingston City Park. But this is one section of that trail. You're just a few minutes away from that and many other waterfront access areas, parks, public lands, and marinas throughout Roane County. This is an updated image, and we put this one in there. We replaced it with one of the driveway images. Or we replaced it instead of one of the driveway images since we had multiple driveway images. This is the crawl space. The access point to it is located in a small door to the right of the basement residential door. And you open it up, there's lighting installed, it's properly lined, and it's nice and clean. So these are our updated images as of today, July 17th, 2026, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And let's go look at these diagrams with some measuring tools to look at planning potential for building starter homes for your children and your aging family. So we're going to look at some measurements here, just to give you a point of reference. So there's the back left corner of the house, and we're going to take this about, say, 115 feet. Okay? And That's a line drawn for 115 feet. It's gonna hop all over this place. We're gonna be playing some games with it for a while, but that tool is really more ideal for taking one measurement at a time, not drawing a whole bunch of things. So just get prepared for the screen to do some crazy stuff and make me have to play some games with it. But we're gonna show potential placement to consider for about 7 homes. Now, typically, in most counties in the state of Tennessee, setback rules from sidelines and back lines of the property for primary structures or single-family structures, which means a house, a structure that's intended to be lived in, rented, resided in by a tenant, whatever it may be, short-term, long-term. Those types of structures typically have a requirement of a setback of between 10 and 15 feet at minimum. And then fences typically have a setback of about 5 feet. Again, I can get verification of those exact numbers for you without a problem, but that's typically what they are. So if you wanted to space out home number 1 by 115 feet, that's about what that would look like. Now let's place another spot. It's gonna see. Let's delete it. Let's delete it. Yeah. Let's delete that one. Okay, so we'll measure again. So from about that point, another 115 feet would be about right there. Okay, so that there could be a structure number 2. I think we should really space them out more than that, honestly. That should be the space between the structures, and we need to have space for the structure itself. Let's do this. We're gonna take another approach here. 1 second. Okay, now we're in a place where we can draw more effectively, and let's make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna get these little rectangles, and we're gonna put them in red, bright red, so they're easy to see. We're going to start by kind of trying to draw one where the current house is, okay? So that's where the current house is. So what if you also put one like here? Wait, that's too close to the property line. Or maybe not, actually. You can get pretty close. We're going to try to make these rectangles similar sizes because you figure if the footprints are similar, then maybe they can be, you know, same square footage. We're over 2,000 square feet of living space. And my rectangles are getting a little bigger, but I should have just done a copy and paste, guys. Sorry about that. So, I mean, consider something of this, but imagine that the rectangles are all, and this is really bigger than the house slightly, but if you figure this is a 2-level that's over 2,000 square feet, and based on the topography, possibly you could do something kind of like this, you know, and if you know, you might want to angle them differently and things of that nature, right? But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 structures there, and then leaving that core open for just grassy area, maybe a pool, maybe some other amenities that you'd like to have, trails, gardens. You know, there's a lot of potential here. And again, everything's dependent upon getting permitting, right? And getting septic permits and this, that, and the other. But if I could buy this property and develop it, this is what I would do with it. Something to this effect. And I would put in a spectacular pool, and I would also add those gardens, those trails. You could put a little hiking thing up through here. And, you know, those trails could just wind around every single property and then connect. There could be a parking loop that wrapped in through here. You know, big fenced-in luxury pool up here. Maybe put another luxury pool back here. Who knows? Maybe have 3 luxury pools. I mean, you can do, with the right budget, you can do anything, right? But this property is just super cool. Super cool. Now let's do another measurement, because I had somebody I was speaking to the other day and they were talking about, you know, wanting to have space for like a big storage building, a big metal storage building. I mean, if you made that 343 feet wide, okay, and then made it 200 feet deep, so about 340 by 200. 340 by 200, that's 68,000 square feet of space. So that would give you an interior, if you had 68,000 feet of square foot interior space for a warehouse, that would give you 1.56 interior acres. So again, you know, you're going to work with the topography that's there. Do I think this property would be ideal for that exact diagram that I just drew? Probably not. But there's a lot that you can do. There's a lot of space there. Sometimes it's hard for people to speculate, you know, what can be done with the property, just because a lot of us don't have practice thinking in terms of square footage or acreage on a daily basis, and then going out there and physically measuring it. Again, based on the topography for this property, I would not recommend that, what I just drew right there. Let's get those deleted real quick. But that's more just to say, hey, there's a lot of space here for certain types of things. Let's see. Let's go open up that topo again. My modified one is so much better. Let's switch. Okay, now we're to the modified enhanced topo, which means I took a screenshot of that other one and I edited it so you could actually see what you need to see. And again, these dashed yellow lines are typically past proposed or considered subdividing lines that were abandoned, and they just serve as a historical record. Anytime I researched property anywhere in Tennessee and I saw dashed yellow lines that looked like this, when I researched it, that's what it turned out to be. I've never seen it turn out to be anything else, so I'm pretty confident that's what it is. If you need some written confirmation of that, I will provide it to you. The green lines here indicate the property lines as defined in the survey in the deed. You can see here where it looks at 7.75 acres deed reference, 7.99 acres county reference. So is there a chance that there's actually a little more acreage there? Maybe, but conservatively in advertising, we have used the 7.75 number to make sure we're not overstating the space. So again, just to quickly recap, based on this topography, you've got your primary structure here, potentially here for structure 2, here for structure 3, here for structure 4, here for structure 5, here for structure 6, here for structure 7, and then maybe here for structure 8. Based on this topography, and that would leave the core open for landscaping, pool, hiking trail, you know, a beautiful crushed shell, river rock path. Maybe, here's another cool thing I'll say about this property. So the historic well is there, and it was operational for many years. There is a well pump system still there. Public water is attached to the house, right? So if you developed a new house every year, for example, and you took that path, you know, you'd be slowly extending utilities a little bit at a time. So that would be a scalable way to do that if your budget was limited or more restrictive or needed to be paced a certain kind of a way, if you couldn't just do it all at once. But what I think is so cool is that that well is there. And, you know, a lot of times when you have a gentle rolling flat space beside an elevated space, there's the potential to explore for an artesian well. So if you end up buying this property and you hire a well professional to come out and analyze the current well, things that I would recommend you ask them to explore about the well is, Number one, get the well registered with the state so it comes up in the state's well data system. There's all different types of things that are analyzed during a well inspection and analysis. They can look at things like the type of casing, how deep is the well, how many gallons per minute does it produce, etc., etc. They can teach you about the water table, all kinds of other neat things. So one of my favorite properties I ever experienced was a property up in the mountains. I'm trying to think of the name of the road. I think it was Likely Lane. There was a gentleman who I dated for a long period of time. We were hunting partners, and we spent a lot of time exploring this 100-acre property that he had temporarily rented for a few years. And there was a water source there that was so abundant that we didn't use public water at all. And you could go hunting and hiking and photographing wildlife and just be dead tired, and then just go stand in the shower all day long if you wanted. I mean, the water's endless. There's no water bill. It was incredible. So I became a little bit obsessed with properties that have access to abundant water sources that are natural because of that experience. It was just a super cool experience. So it's awesome to have that. Like, I don't know if that particular well could be utilized to like fill a pool or whatever, or who knows. I mean, you'd have to have an analyst come out, a well specialist come out, figure out the potential there and explore all those kinds of things. But I just think that'd be kind of neat to explore, because then you don't have to worry about your water bill. And then you have two sources of water, and you can choose, am I going to use this source or this source today, depending on how you have it configured and connected. But I guess that's everything for today. I think 8 homes with similar footprints to this one, or slightly smaller, could be placed around that property potentially. I mean, it's worth exploring. Again, disclaimer, got to do those legal disclaimers. It's always dependent upon final approval and permitting processes, but that's what I would try to do there. So very new property, very private, super cool location, a lot of future potential, a lot of expansion potential. If you'd like to schedule a showing, you can contact me at 865-617-4783. Again, that's 865-617-4783. If you think my videos are a bit long on YouTube, you can go into the settings for the video and select double time. And there's like a 2x, and it will play this in double time. Cut your time in half watching my videos. Maybe have a laugh at how funny my voice sounds when it's even faster than this. Anyway, hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit more about this property today. If you have a goal to sell property, buy property, invest, if you work for an asset management team or a hedge fund, please hit me up. Let's talk about your goals. I can help you with everything, both on and off market, across the entire state of Tennessee. Thanks again, and have a great day.